I feel like a hot mess. Hi everyone, I've been adulting. And by adulting I mean trying to get a job. I've been attempting to adult. I guess. As I mentioned in my first video, we recently moved to Colorado. My husband Chris, he has had a job since we got here. That's the reason we kind of were able to move. So he's been set, but I don't have one. So I thought, I guess in tribute to that, I'd make a video about weird things I've seen at previous jobs that I've had, because that sounds interesting. Maybe. Now I was going back and trying to think of some weird things that I've seen, things that you read online that you didn't think were actually true, but you see and you're surprised that are actually true. This is some of them. All these took place at a very popular clothing store that I'm not gonna name because these aren't too pretty, so my job at this store was just sales associate, so it was my duty to check people out at the register and fix up the clothes on the racks and pretty much regular retail stuff. So let's just jump right into it. Now, shoplifting is something that's quite common, sadly, and kids do not shoplift. It is quite common in some larger chain stores, which is also the reason that loss prevention is pretty big at some of these stores too. So in our case at my store, we had 2 loss prevention guys. Their jobs were pretty much to watch the security cameras and chase down people trying to steal stuff. There was this one day where I was just checking some people out at the register, and all of a sudden we just heard yelling from the other side of the store. And a few seconds later, there was this guy bolting down the aisle in front of our register. Now all of us just couldn't help but stare. He was running past us with a grotesque amount of clothes shoved underneath his shirt. Not only was he carrying men's clothes, but he also had women's clothes shoved underneath his shirt. And what gave that away was the purple bra hanging out over the top of his shirt as he was running down the aisle. All of us behind the register just kind of watched the whole scenario happen. He came running past, clothes bouncing, and also, I don't know if he thought he'd be able to just walk through the store with that amount of clothes. So all of us behind the register couldn't help but just watch this man being chased by our 2 loss prevention guys. And then he ran just out the door into the parking lot. Cat. Oh God. I don't know what happened after that. He apparently got away, and that was that. This next one happened, similar scenario, just normal day, ringing out some people through the line. Everyone who has worked retail knows at one time or another, people always come in and try to return merchandise that is either really old or that they didn't even buy at the store in the first place. In this particular case, a couple came in and wanted to return 2 winter jackets, heavy winter jackets. All right, winter's over, might not have used the jacket, might have got it for Christmas, put it in the closet, whatever. Not in this case. So before they even came up to the register, I knew something was wrong. As soon as they put the 2 coats onto the counter, it was like the sheer horrible smell that came off of those coats hit me right in the face. It was like they've worn these coats for 4 months straight without bathing, without doing necessary daily hygiene, and then just decided, we could use the money, let's just return our coats. The smell was like a mixture of body odor, urine, feces, and God knows what else. So they come up with these coats, and I can't even hear what they're saying because I'm just trying to resist from gagging at this point. And they tell me they want to return these coats, they just bought them here, and they ended up not needing them. So I just called over the manager, which I'm also sorry for. As soon as she walked into our little area, which we called the quad since there were 4 computers, I could see it in her face that she just smelled whatever was going on in this situation. It was like sudden fear struck her face. So she came up and she started talking with them. They told her the same stuff. So we tried to look into the coats and find if they were from this store or not. Turns out we never carried this line ever. So these people just had coats in their closet that they wanted to get money for, so they decided to walk into our store and try to return them. But because the customer is always right, and also because I think the manager just wanted them to get out, she went ahead and gave them store credit for the coats, and she just made up a price to get them out of there. So as a message to the people, please don't try to return things at stores that you didn't buy them from. Just please don't. So I would just like to take a second and have a moment of silence and apologize to those who cleaned the restrooms. I'm sorry. Now this last one, I never even thought that it would be something that would happen, especially in a public place or in a store. This was probably one of the most vile things that I ever had to handle. Now we regularly had to go and check and clean out the dressing rooms. You know, you get clothes thrown about, and it was just 2 small dressing rooms, nothing big. And one day I walked in to just go get the clothes out and fold them and put them back on the shelf. And again, before I entered the door, a horrible odor smacked me in the face. Everything seemed normal, except there was a spot in the middle of the carpet that was discolored. And there was a very familiar odor that everyone would really be able to recognize. So between the discoloration in this carpet and the odor I was smelling, I was quickly able to determine that someone had just urinated in the middle of the changing room. Just right on the floor. Like they thought, oh, you know, I'm in here and it's far from the bathroom, so no one's around, it'd be okay. Who does that? Who just says, oh, right here would be a great place to pee? I just stood there and stared at this puddle on the floor. I didn't really know what to do. So I again went to my poor manager, who seems to have to deal with these things a little more regularly than she should have. And we both just stared at it, not really knowing what happened or why it happened, just kind of took a moment to regret where we were in life. So she just called the cleaning staff and they came over and then cleaned it up. And again, I apologize to them. They are very dedicated to their job. And they are probably the same people who clean the bathrooms, and I am again sorry for that. So that's all I had for this video. I didn't really want to think of any more. But when I do get a job, I'm gonna hope it's not one where I'm gonna run into situations like this. God forbid have to be the supervisor to deal with these things. So if you like this video and would like to see more like it, feel free to hit the like button. And please subscribe. I make videos sometimes. I'm gonna try to make them more regularly. And also, if anyone watching this video has had a scenario like this happen, I would love to hear about it. So leave me a comment. Alright, thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody. See you later. Why did I work here? I don't know what made me think I would want to work in a place where things like this happened. It was only during college and for a little while. But that was enough.